Hello everyone, my name is El Parnaso and for today I'm going to show you some anti-Purulia combos. First, I'm going to show you how you don't give him any draws whenever you have engage or hornet runs, okay? So you just get Purulia standby, whatever, you activate this, choose your token, you do almost the same as all of you know, like you go with the Kagari, you return it, you activate it, you go here. Like this is a scenario when we are just going to use the Hornet. So here we have most likely hand traps, as I say in other videos. So here, if you don't have any other Yami and you only way to play is the Hornet runs, I will advise you to get these two. First, because you don't know your opponent's matchup, so having the ability to pop is always good to a deck that you don't know. This is obviously what allows the Yami circulation every single turn. And because the marshmallow is not going to be this useful in this scenario. There's nothing to return, blah, blah, blah. So here, because we want to play just with the Hornet, we are going to discard, and because we are also under Purulia, the Capsi. Here, we're going to put it in the graveyard, so the Snatchy can revive it with the field spell. Here you will be exposing yourself to Ogre or Bell, whether Bell or Ogre to the field spell or Ogre to the Snatchy. But remember, in these cases you got Purulia, so now if they use other card, they're gonna have 3 in hand. You haven't normal summon yet, so you can just go with the one that you added and give it 1 draw. And they're still gonna have just 4. You still have 4 in hand, and you're gonna be able to make your Yami circulation in that case. So I think it's a risk worth taking here, especially because of the Purulia. But now you can go with the minion with the Capsi. The Capsi will make the effect. You will take the best target for the Capsi, the surprise. And here we're gonna make these 2. So we can make the Lollipop. The Lollipop will revive these 2. It's always key to have a level 2 synchro in the graveyard whenever you can to make the Lollipop as much valuable as you can. And here, because we don't want to give our opponent any kind of draws, we want to build a board as much as we want, and we have already the follow-up with the surprise, this is what we're going to do. We're gonna summon the Anti-Purrely Synchro. We're making the Ham. Why we are making the Ham? Because the Ham is one of the greatest synchros against Purulia for this deck. Because in this scenario, this card won't only just allow us to make the Herald, it allows us to create another Yami name in the graveyard. Because in order to use the effect, we need to discard. And thanks that we are discarding, we are creating the second Yami that we add without having to give our opponent any kind of draw. Therefore, we create 2 Yami names in the graveyard, and we are not going to give our opponent any kind of extra draw while we're doing it, thanks to the Hamster. This is why I think the Hamster is really important. Now we can just go straight with the Herald here. You're still gonna have 2 different ways to make your Yami circulation, because even if they gospel this one, you still have the other synchro name in the graveyard to keep playing. You also have the Herald Protection, the Herald Floodgate. You have 4 in hand, and your opponent just wasted the Purulia. You didn't give him literally any draw while you do this, and you have still 2 ways of circulation and a negation, just by using 1 card. Thanks to the Hamster, I can't emphasize this enough. There's going to be a lot of scenarios when the discard effect or the fact that it is a level 3 non-tuner is going to be relevant. There's going to be also scenarios when you're going to be like this, and you're going to summon during your opponent's turn this guy, and the 2 monsters that you're going to revive are not going to do that much, except maybe being bounced for the surprise. But if you play the Hamster, whenever you are dealing with your opponent's board when they try to play, and you are in a scenario when you have a Snatchy available and you summon the Lollipop, when this guy instantly is going to become a Herald, because you are reviving these 2, or whatever level 1 non-tuner Yami, You make this one, you discard one card that you may not need, and remember, you are going to draw because of cutscene in the opponent's turn, so even if you don't have a hand, you're gonna have something to discard. Or maybe you draw a Purulia, a hand that you already use, you can just discard it and find some kind of value on your cards there. So all of that is only available if you play this card. The Metal Marcher is a level 3 tuner and has the disadvantage that it by itself can create a hurdle. This card, by resolving, creates its own material to make the hurdle, which is a difference that is going to matter a lot of the time, especially because of the discard effect, as I just showed you, to play around the Purulia and create still 2 names in the graveyard. Now, let's see what can we do if you only draw 1 name, for example. Like, if we draw 1 name and we get Purulia, we just give him the 1 draw. The difference with whenever we get Fuwa is that we can make a little bit more here. Like, we can revive this, and here is going to be a difference. If you have any other Yami in your hand, you can interpret that Yami as a follow-up, and then instead of going with the Capsy way, you go here directly to the Lollipop, you revive these 2, and you can make these 2 another interruption, like the SP, like just as an example, right? So this I could advise you to do whenever you have any other Yami in hand, so you can save that other Yami and don't give your opponent 2 draws because of the Purulia. Like, however, if you don't have any other Yami name in your hand, or you only have the cookie and, for example, 4 hand traps, right? Like this. Like, you get Purulia, you don't want to risk your opponent drawing whatever they have, because an extra card can make all the difference when breaking a board or playing around cards. So we just don't try to risk it that much. If you have only 1 Yami name, you make you normal this one, you put the field spell here, and the difference with the Fuwa is that if we keep playing or extra deck, we're not gonna keep giving any draws. So I will advise to make this. This will use the effect, and depending on what you want, or what you need, or what you start with, you just decide between the 3 names that you have available, and you decide 1 to keep in your hand as a follow-up, and the other one to keep during your opponent as a disruption. Like, for example, you prioritize the Vanish, you add these 2, and you discard this one, you save the Capsy for the next turn, so you have a great follow-up. You don't summon it right away because you're still under Purulia, remember? And you just pass. The Capsy being on the field plays around attempting to get the Imper or something. Whenever they try to start playing, you get your Yami circulation on board. You have 2 different effects. You have 1 follow-up guaranteed, and you have other 4 cards that are most likely hand traps. This is what I would like to do if I don't have any other Yami name in hand, because whenever I try to do this circulation and I leave these 2, you're exposing yourself to not having engine whenever this get Ghost Bell, or if you get Nibiru when you revive these 2. When you are right here, if you get Nib, like, you're not gonna have your Yami circulation you do in your opponent's turn. The good thing is that if your opponent gets greedy at this point and they don't nib you, you can just make the SP and it doesn't matter anymore because you can just banish both of them until the end phase whenever they try to do nib. However, this is a bit more of a greedy line against Purulia because you're exposing you not having engine for the next turn. You can use always a normal hand trap and make Almirage, because in order for the field spell to be alive, you only need a link 1, and this can be considered also a follow-up, but it's a bit of a risk to depend that much on minion resolving, right? So just trying to give you these points of views regarding the Purulia. I hope you like it, and I hope it serves you for whatever event you're trying to play with this deck. Please start to respect this card. There's a lot of interactions that you will be available to play only because you're using this card. The Anti-Purrely combo is something that I really like. It's something that has won me a lot of games because making the Mulcharmies of your opponent as useless as possible is always a tech that you need to consider in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And this card allows you to do that. So if you enjoy it, I'm gonna keep making a lot of more yummy videos and random Yu-Gi-Oh videos too. So if you like it, share and subscribe because there's a lot of videos coming every single day. Thank you.